Hey friends, today I'm going to share with you all about this recipe booklet here, which is our Appy Party recipes and grocery list. So again, Epicure has come out with these amazing grocery lists and recipes for us to follow along with. So I'm gonna do my best to whip through these really fast and show you some great ideas for your next Appy Party. So I'm gonna flip to the recipes as we go. There is 6 recipes we're gonna be making and be running through this and make this amazing Appy Party board. So I'm gonna start by making the crispy, crunchy tofu bites. So this is a brand new product. It is the crispy, crunchy coating, which is absolutely fantastically spiced perfectly. It's crunchy, it's delicious. We're gonna make tofu bites with it. You can also make chicken fingers, chicken strips with it. I want to make onion rings with it. I think that'd be super awesome. And you can also make things like, what's the thing I'm thinking? Even like breaded, anything breaded, right? Anything breaded, even breaded fish would be really good. I wanna make like a breaded chicken sandwich. I think that would be delicious. Like all of Epicure, it's gluten-free and there's no additives, preservatives. It's low in sodium. I don't think it even has any, I don't think it has any added sugar. It's just a great product that has whole food ingredients and none of the additives, preservatives, hydrogenated oils, all the things that you'll often find in this sort of product. And I just love the crispy crunch that you get with this product because you don't always get that. Okay, so that's in there. So now how to make this is super simple. So I've got my oven preheating at 425, so it's preheated to 425. I've got some organic, non-GMO, extra firm tofu here. I'm just draining the package out. I'm going to take the tofu out of the package and cut it into bite-sized pieces and throw it on the sheet pan and toss it in the oven. But before I do that, I'm going to give it a quick squish in the paper towel so that it's super dry so that it doesn't take away from the crispiness that I'm looking for the end product to give us. So I'm going to, because it'll be a far better texture than if it ends up being soggy. So that is a trick for tofu. And then I'm going to just make them into kind of like almost the same size I would make chicken fingers or little, not chicken fingers, but little like chicken nuggets. So I'm just gonna cut them that size. That's what I've decided. And I'm going to, okay, so we take this and we put it in, where am I gonna do this? I'm all over the place today. I got stuff everywhere. So, I've got a little bit of mayo in here, so to keep it vegan, you can use a vegan mayo. And I'm just going to stir those all in and coat them in the mayo first. And then I'm going to put the coating on them, put them in the oven. And that is probably the most time consuming of all the recipes. So it's gonna be done by the time we're done all the other recipes. That's the plan. So we'll see if I can manage to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna get my hands right in there so we can just get this done. They're all coated nicely in there. So now I'm gonna coat them with the crispy, crunchy coating mix from Epicure. We have been having fun with this recipe, with this product. We've been eating it a lot. A lot of chicken fingers and chicken nuggets have been requested. So anytime I find a recipe that my whole family will eat, I know it's a good one. So one of the reasons why I love Epicure so much is because it doesn't have all of the additives, the preservatives, all of the high sodium and sugar and just artificial ingredients. I really take pride in, picking products that have good, wholesome ingredients in it, and this is always a product I can count on for that. All right, so I don't know, I don't mind getting my hands all messy. Some people don't love it, but I just get the job done. And then I don't want any of this to go to waste. So I'm literally gonna just like sprinkle a little extra on here because it's so good. The flavor profile, I just can't even get over it. It's so good. You just don't need to add anything to this breading mix. It's just so perfect on its own. Okay, let me tuck that away. And according to the recipe book here, it's going to take 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, we're gonna pull this out in 15 minutes, and it's gonna be all crispy. And that's gonna be your timer to get through all of the other recipes also. So what recipe should we do next? Let's get the popcorn made. We're gonna make some Parmesan ranch popcorn. That's one of the products, is a Parmesan. That's one of the recipes here is Parmesan ranch popcorn. So the first thing we need to do is get our popcorn kernels popped, right? So one of the ways that we love popping popcorn in our house is using our round Epicure steamer. It is a waterless steamer, so you can cook things like chicken, fish, veggies, chicken fajitas, anything in here. You can even bake a cake in here. I even made an ice cream cake with this thing. But anyways, we use it for making popcorn also because it's super fast. You have the convenience of microwave popcorn without all of the additives and harmful ingredients that typical microwave popcorn comes with. So all you use is just half a cup of kernels. So half a cup of kernels, no water, no oil. Put the lid on, put it in the microwave for like 4 to 5 minutes. Depending on your microwave, it's only going to take that long. So I'm going to just put that on and walk away from that, and we're going to move on to another recipe while that's cooking. So I'm going to jump into this recipe here. It says classy cucumber bites. Classy cucumber bites is our next recipe. I'm going to make everything all pretty on this board here. So I am going to cut up cucumber slices for this recipe. So I'm going to have cucumber slices to put on the board, and we're going to make a little spread to put on top of the cucumber with some cherry tomatoes. So with these cucumbers, we've got half a cup of cream cheese here, and we're going to add 2 teaspoons of the 3 onion mix. So 2 teaspoons of 3 onion. This is great for anyone who does not love chopping onions. 3 tablespoons of this equals 1 large onion. I'm double checking that. Yeah, 3 tablespoons equals 1 onion. So if you don't have an onion, you can use this as an alternative in a recipe. If you maybe don't like chopping onions, you can use this in your recipe. Or perhaps you have someone who's a picky eater in your house, and they like complain if they can see the chunks. Well, this is super fine. They're not going to be able to tell. And the only ingredients in here is onions. Like, it's just 3 different types of onions. So we're going to mix this around. It's also a great alternative if you are used to some store brand onion soup mix packages or onion dip mix packages. You'll be surprised. Like, this is just onions. If you have one of those in your pantry, I dare you to go into the pantry and look at the ingredients, because I promise you it's not going to be just onions. And so that is a way to get away from all of the additives and preservatives that are just completely unnecessary for you to be consuming, is just using this 3 onion. I know a lot of people just say they just throw that. They just say they throw that in everything. The 3 onion goes in everything. Okay, so I've got just cream cheese and the 3 onion mix. It's like a 3 onion cream cheese mix. And I'm going to put that, I'm going to slice up my tomatoes too. So it says to slice up my cherry tomatoes into quarters. So these are pretty tiny tomatoes, so I don't know if I'll get 3 out of them. But you'll see I'm using my ceramic knife with Appy here, and it is the best knife. Why is it the best knife? It's the sharpest knife. It is, it cuts through like so easy, these little tiny fragile tomatoes, and I can slice through them just like butter. It's not even serrated, that's how sharp it is. And it also, my other favorite feature of it is the fact that when you cut things like apples or lettuce, anything that might turn brown after cutting it, it slows down the oxidization. If you use a steel knife, it actually speeds up the oxidization of those fruits and vegetables that tend to turn brown. Okay, so we are going to now just put this together super fast. So just spreading. I have to listen for this popcorn, make sure it's working here. Make sure it's not gonna burn. Oh, it's not working. I think I did do something right. Hold on. Let's try that again. Okay. Then I'm gonna put some tomato slices on there. So really fast to throw this together. Say you're having company over, or maybe you're just having a fun food night with your family. This works. Movie night with your family. You could do this for a fun night. Everybody loves Appy's. Fun finger food. Or even just a great spread to put out if you're having some people over for dinner. Just a little Appy board just to kind of get a tasting of some things before the main dish comes out. I think that's what I will do. Of course, it pops right out of my hand. My cream cheese isn't completely room temperature, which is supposed to be room temperature. It's not. So it's a little harder for me to spread than I'd like. But we're managing. Spread this on there, if I can. It doesn't want to. Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go. Look at that. You could put just like one for every person on the board. That will look really nice. And then I'm gonna move on to the next recipe here. So I'm just gonna put that aside. We've got one for everybody. And we're gonna make white bean and artichoke crackers. I've never done anything like this one before. So what I'm gonna do is I've got my food processor here. So you could use a food processor or a blender. I've got the food processor. I do have to grab the top fork here. And I will read the recipe here. So we have 1 can of unsalted white beans. I've got some white beans in there. I'm gonna add a tablespoon. I'm gonna make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, perfect, okay. So I've got, that's the 3 onion. I don't need the 3 onion. I need the herb and garlic. Herb and garlic, I need a tablespoon. It looks like all I have left is a tablespoon. So that will work out beautifully. Time to place an order. Okay, herb and garlic, and then I'm going to add in, wherever I have placed it, 1/4 of the reserve liquid. So when I opened up the can of beans, I strained some of the reserve liquid into here, which is going to help make it super creamy and smooth. So I'm going to put that in there. That's why it's super important that you pick the unsalted canned beans if you're doing canned beans, because you don't want that extra sodium, because all that sodium is going to be sitting in the reserve juice. And then we're just going to blend that together, making it creamy. Almost there. It's doing well. It's actually working quite well. And then I've got these kind of like Melba toast crackers. You could use any type of cracker you want. That's just the one that I was able to find and decided that would work perfectly for what we're doing here. All right, I'm going to pop that out of there and decide how I'm going to spread this. Let me grab a butter knife. Check on my popcorn here. Didn't pop quite as much as I would like, but that's okay. We're going to do that. Okay. So I've got my crackers here. And again, you could put one for every person if you didn't want them to fill up on it. Or if it was dinner, you could do a whole platter of them. Whatever works for you. This smells really good. And then what we do on top of these, I'm going to actually spread those out a little. Then what we do on top of those is I've got some chopped up artichokes. So I'm going to put some just little bits of artichoke on top. So again, this is the white bean and artichoke cracker recipe. We got 5 minutes left before this beeps, so I gotta get through a few more recipes here. All right. So there you have it. Those are the white bean and artichoke crackers. So now I'm gonna run through and do the next recipe. So the next recipe is black bean salsa cups. So I'm gonna be using these fun little tortilla chip scoops, and we're gonna create a filling to put in those, and we're gonna top it with Epicure's most famous queso dip. So I've made the queso dip ahead. It's super easy to make. All we do is add milk and cheese to the queso seasoning, and we just whisk it, heat it up, it thickens up. It's got all kinds of goodness in there. It's got peppers in there. All kinds of, you can see all kinds of chunks of like peppers and jalapenos and stuff like that in there. Okay, so I needed beans. So I've got some beans here. So just about a half a cup of beans is what I needed. And then I have a bowl here to mix them in. So I'm gonna put the beans in a bowl. And then I needed tomatoes. So I grabbed some tomatoes. Roma tomatoes make great salsa actually. And this is gonna be kind of, well, we are adding the salsa mix actually. The Poco Picante salsa mix is the seasoning that we're gonna use. So now I'm just going to dice these tomatoes up. Again, using the ceramic knife because it's super easy to cut through tomatoes without squishing all the juice everywhere and just kind of mangling them. It slices right through them, nice and fast and easy, so that cutting and chopping food is not a chore when you have a good knife. And do just a little bit more here. It said like one medium tomato, but Roma tomatoes are kind of smaller, so I grabbed a couple. Okay. I'm going to put this here. And then next thing we do is we're going to stir these together. I need to add 1 tablespoon of the salsa mix. It's a little bit, that's a lot. I might only do half a tablespoon because that's gonna be really spicy. And then I'll just use that same spice spoon to just give it a stir. And then we're gonna scoop a bit of this mix into each. We've got 2 minutes left. I'm pushing the clock here. That's okay. Oops. Get the tomato on there. And you can chop up, if you love cilantro, you can chop up cilantro on top. I'm going to because I think the extra green color makes it look delicious, and I am a cilantro fan. Maybe you love it, maybe you hate it. I love it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the queso, and I use this multi-purpose pot with intention because I can usually, there's a pour spout right on this pot and the handle's really nice for pouring. So I'm gonna be able to do just a little drizzle on each of these with the queso. That one's gonna spill out for sure. And our tofu bites should be done. We'll pull them out right away. All right. I'm gonna let them be just for a minute. They're not too overdone, so I'm gonna go on to the next recipe. But the next recipe is making the CCB Dip mix. So to make dips with Appy, you can use any seasoning you want. We do have a line of dip mixes. I'm using the CCB. It stands for cheese, chives, and bacon. And all you need is mayo and sour cream or Greek yogurt. My preference is to use Greek yogurt. So that's what I am using. And then, so I've got mayo and Greek yogurt in there. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of the dip mix and give it a stir. That's how hard it is. So these are gonna be great to dip with the tofu bites. So this is gonna be the dip. And cheese, chives, and bacon, yes, it is vegan. It is not pork. It is an artificial bacon made with pinto beans, if you can believe it, with pinto beans. So that is awesome. Instead of soy, it's made with pinto beans. And it doesn't have any artificial colors or food dyes or flavorings, which typically artificial bacon products do. So super proud that it does not have that. All right, let's pull this out, take a look at it. They look amazing, nice and crispy. Turn that off, and then we'll get our popcorn going too. All right, might want to use tongs. That would be smart. Okay, I'm gonna place these on the board. I'm curious what my family will think. I'm not too sure what they'll think of it on tofu, but it's all right. There we go. I'm gonna put enough for, oh, I won't have room, that's okay. I'll leave these ones here. And then I'll show you the recipe with the popcorn, and then we're all done. So the popcorn, I'm just gonna grab a bowl to dump it into. So the recipe says to dump it in a bowl, and then we've got some melted butter, Parmesan cheese, and the Epicure ranch dip mix. So that's what's in here. So it's a Parmesan ranch popcorn. So I've got my kernels popped in here. They did not pop as beautifully as they usually do. Maybe I didn't put enough kernels in there. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I've got, usually it pops right to the very top. I have no idea what's going on with my microwave today. And so it says just to drizzle this. So drizzle this. Okay, drizzle the butter. And then sprinkle the cheese. I've got the Parmesan cheese somewhere here. It says half a cup of cheese, but I feel like that's a lot, so I'm not going to do the whole amount. I'm just going to do a sprinkle, And then it says to, just do a sprinkle of this too. And then to just give it a shake. And then to do another layer. Here we go. Super fast and easy. I hope you love the look of this board. It looks super tasty. So I've got some Parmesan ranch popcorn. And then I've also got this beautiful Appy board that you could stick out right before serving a main dish. So fast and easy, a bunch of recipes again for you Appykeers come through. We are super excited about all these meal plans. I'd love to show you another one. I'd love to be able to have that opportunity to get you a shopping spree for free so that you can have stress-free living in your kitchen where you are not scrambling because everything goes raw ready in 20 minutes or less. You've got it on the table, no more screaming kids, you've got no more stress going on. You're just gonna have these meals whipped up fast and easy. They're tasty, delicious for everyone, and they are also healthy for you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned a couple of things and some new recipes for you to try at home. Have a great night. Bye.